Welcome all. Myself Pritesh Raut. I am a lecturer in mechanical department of Kekewak Polytechnic. Today we are going to discuss about refrigerant and its types. So let's start with the refrigerant. Refrigerant is a working substance or the fluid which is used in a refrigeration system for getting the cooling effect by absorbing the heat from lower temperature system and discharge the same to the higher temperature system. As we know, in olden days, natural ice and mixture of ice and salt were used as a first refrigerant. Thereafter, ether, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, ammonia, they were used as a refrigerant in a compression cycle of refrigeration system. Most of the refrigerant they were discarded because of the safety reason or lack of thermal or chemical stability. This refrigerant is classified into two types: primary refrigerant and secondary refrigerant. Primary refrigerants are those which are directly take part in the refrigeration system, and all the refrigerant which are used in vapor compression and absorption system, they are called as a primary refrigerants. In case of secondary refrigerants, they cannot be directly used in the refrigerant system. First, they have been cooled by the primary refrigerant and then used for the cooling purpose. So here brine and antifreezes are the examples of the secondary refrigerants. As we know, brine is mostly used for the production of ice and it is a mixture of salt and water. Further, these primary refrigerants are classified into halocarbon refrigerant, azeotrope refrigerant, inorganic refrigerants and hydrocarbon refrigerants. First is the halocarbon refrigerants. These are synthetically produced refrigerant and belongs to Freon family of refrigerants, and following are the examples of some halocarbon refrigerants: R11, R12, R114. These are the examples of CFC group refrigerant. Likewise, HFC and HCFC refrigerants are given here. The next is the azeotrope refrigerant. Azeotrope means a stable mixture of two or more refrigerant, and these are designated by the 500 series. So following are the examples of azeotrope refrigerant: R500 and R502. Zeotrope refrigerants are the non-azeotropic mixtures and they are designated by the 400 series. For example, refrigerant 404A is a mixture of refrigerant 125, refrigerant 143A and refrigerant 134A. Likewise, we have 407A and 407B. These are the examples of zeotrope refrigerants. So always remember, azeotrope refrigerants means these are the mixture of two stable refrigerants, okay, and designated by the 500 series, and here zeotrope refrigerants are designated by the 400 series. Inorganic refrigerant. As we know, inorganic refrigerant is used before the halocarbon refrigerant and still they use because of their inherent thermodynamic and physical properties. R717 means ammonia, then carbon dioxide, water, sulfur dioxide. These are the examples of inorganic refrigerant and these are used in a compression cycle of refrigeration system. The next is a hydrocarbon refrigerant. These are highly flammable, explosive and mostly preferred for the industrial and commercial installation. Ethane, propane, butane, isobutane, these are the examples of hydrocarbon refrigerant. The next part is a selection criteria of refrigerant. As we know, one refrigerant cannot be used for the various applications, so that's why suitability of refrigerant for certain application is determined by its property. So that's why selection of refrigerant is totally depends on their properties, like a thermodynamic property, physical properties, chemical properties, environmental and safety properties, and last but not least, economy, which is related with the cost of refrigerant. The first property is a thermodynamic property. It contains boiling temperature, freezing temperature, evaporator and condenser pressure, latent heat of vaporization, specific volume, COPI and power requirement, critical temperature and pressure. So boiling temperature of the refrigerant should be the low, as we know high boiling temperature reduces the capacity and operating cost of the system. Freezing temperature, it should be the low, below the operating evaporator temperature. Next is the evaporator and condenser pressure. This both the pressures should be the positive, because it prevent a leakage of air and moisture in the refrigerating system. Then the latent heat of vaporization should be the high, which produces high refrigerating effect per kg of refrigerant. So that's why the latent heat of vaporization of the refrigerant should be the high. The refrigerant should have low specific volume and high critical temperature. When we talk about the chemical properties, the flammability and toxicity of the refrigerant should be less, or the given refrigerant should not be a flammable or toxic, because otherwise it will hamper the system. Then miscibility means the ability of refrigerant to mix with the oil is called the miscibility. And as we know, the non-miscible refrigerant require larger heat transfer surface due to the poor heat conduction properties of the oil. So that's why the given refrigerant should be a miscible, should have a good miscibility property. The next is the effect on perishable material. As we know, the refrigerant which is used in the cold storage plant and in a domestic refrigerator, they should be such that in a case of leakage it should have no effect on the perishable material. As we know, the Freon group of refrigerants have no effect upon dairy product, meats, vegetables, flowers and furs. Means if there is a leakage of refrigerant, it should not affect the material. Next is the physical property: stability and inertness, corrosive property, viscosity, thermal conductivity, leakage tendency, and then last one is the cost. Stability: the refrigerant should have good stability, because as we know if the refrigerant decomposes earlier, it forms corrosive and poisonous products. So that's why the refrigerant should have a good stability. Then corrosive property, it should be a non-corrosive in nature. As we know, our refrigerant should be a non-corrosive in nature. Then viscosity, the refrigerant should have a low viscosity, because the heat transfer through the condenser and evaporator is improved at the low viscosity. So that's why the refrigerant should have low viscosity. When talk about the thermal conductivity, the refrigerant should have high thermal conductivity, because it will very much helpful for finding the heat transfer coefficient in evaporator and condenser. Thereafter, leakage tendency. This property is very important, and the refrigerant should have low leakage tendency. If there is a leakage of refrigerant, it should be easily detectable. So that's why leakage tendency of refrigerant should be a low. And then last one is a cost. When we talk about a refrigerant, it should have a low cost, it available in a cheap cost, because as the rate of refrigerant increases, the cost increases, it directly affecting the production of that device. Then next is the environmental impacts of the refrigerants. So these refrigerants, some of the refrigerants, the refrigerant which belongs to the CFC family, they are very harmful for the environment, and they prone to the ozone layer depletion and global warming. As we know, more refrigerant, they have negative effect on the environment, and they contribute to global warming and ozone layer depletion. As we know, greenhouse gases like the carbon dioxide and the emissions from the refrigerant, they are contribute to the global warming and absorbing the infrared radiation and holding it in the atmosphere. The CFC based refrigerants are the major cause of the ozone layer depletion, because the chlorine atom which is present in the CFC refrigerant has a maximum tendency to deflect the ozone layer. So whenever the chlorine are releases into the atmosphere, they are react with the ozone and converted into the oxygen. As everyone knows that ozone has a capacity to block the ultraviolet radiation, but oxygen cannot block that. So that's why in a Montreal protocol suggested all the CFC supposed to be out of production. So these are the major effect of some refrigerant on the environment, that is ozone layer deflection and the global warming. I hope you will understand all the concept regarding the refrigerant and its types. Thank you.